just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here with the man himself, the king, the Gutho. What's going on, brother?
No, not much. Thanks for having me in. New little joint here.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
just a little something I whipped together, mate.
A little something. Got the bras up there.
Yep.
The goats for
The goats.
How good?
Mate, I tell you what, this whole thing is bizarre to me in the sense that, like, that it took off. Like,
It's the best ever. It's so good. And I love that it starts with Victor, then it goes to Tommy, and
oh, mate.
it's just everyone buying in.
100%.
I reckon Bateman's is the best, but that video was all time.
When you did
And look at the face on him. You can still see the reflectors in the dark as well. Mate, that's big time.
Mate, I love it.
It's so good.
You know, I was saying to people like that are like, oh, you know, it's crazy what's happened or whatever. Like, when was the last time the footy community had things viral to enjoy together, other than That's Gold?
Probably since then.
Exactly.
And in a good way.
Yeah.
It's unless it was bad, it was going viral. But that's not what you want.
Yeah,
It's
no, absolutely not.
That's what I mean. That's why this stuff's so good, especially the Goosey.
Oh, right.
That has absolutely taken off. You see everyone posting it, and even when I was out and about, like people would be doing it to me. It's all time.
Mate,
it's the best.
You know what's weird is it started gaining momentum, and I was like, oh, okay, like it's just a little thing that people enjoy. But then, like, I seen, like, you know, I saw, like, Ponga he's like, bro, I'm getting smashed in that.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I feel bad now. Because the boys, like, it's my fault the boys are getting smashed. Goosey.
Hit us with his horse.
yeah, 100%. How you been, bro? So you're off season?
Yeah, good. Cruising. Bit of time off now after long season into some representative stuff. So, just got to try rest up the body as best as can. It's a very long season, but look, I'm enjoying. Still doing some bit of training and go see the boys after this for a chat and watch them get punished. But look, it's been good. It's a lot different to last year's sort of. This time last year we were back to training by week 3, so it's
week 3,
week 2 or 3. So it's no, it's good. It's 6 weeks off, 7 weeks off, which is you need it. It's especially after a long season and stuff like that. But look, enjoying myself, just relaxing and spending time with my mates and loved ones.
How's the like? If you could explain to fans, like, you know, fans are die hard and they spend their hard-earned money to support the boys and that, but explain the headspace right now compared to the headspace end of last season of, like, heads off, terrible season, devastated.
Yeah, it's you probably can't. I don't know how to explain it. We're going through a lot at the club, as everyone knows. We come dead last, and look, it was. No one really knew how to explain what happened or why it happened. It just does. It's rugby league. It's the way it goes sometimes for not only our team, but every team has to go through it. Like at one stage in their club's sort of history or players and stuff like that. And look, it's a lot better this year. We had a lot of boys representing their countries and stuff like that. I think the last year we probably didn't have any. It's weird. And look, the headspace is a lot better space at the moment than this time last year. As I said, we're probably week 3 pre-season, already looking for the Chrissy break, where there's probably only that young core group at training now, and a few of the older boys that sort of didn't get the representative games and stuff like that. But look, when you go in sort of having a good year like we did, you sort of go in confident. But we learn our lesson from 17 to 18 that you can't go in too confident and expect things just to happen. You've got to make it happen. And look, as a fan looking in, you'd probably say we're in a lot better spot than we were last year, and especially with a couple of big signings with Reeves and Maddo there. It's look, everyone's probably excited to come in and sort of, I don't know, prove themselves to the club, and when they come in, it makes people in their positions and people around them push harder. So we can, hopefully we can only get better from here, but look, we're looking forward to sort of ripping in and getting back into pre-season soon. But as I said, you need a break, and especially probably the older boys like Janko and Fergo and stuff like that. They had a couple of niggles there at the back end, and hopefully they come back firing too. And so you actually look at your recruitment over the last 24 months. Ferguson, Maddo, Wanga Blake, and fucking Regan Cameron Gillard. Yeah, like, that's fucking great recruitment, because obviously got RCG, former international Origin. Yeah. Maddo, 18th man. Ferguson, obviously Origin, and he would have made Australia this year. Yeah. Whatever happened. Fergo being Fergo. Who knows?
Fucking hell. And then Blake, like, he's literally one of the best centers in the game when he plays well. Like, when he's given space to move.
Oh, he's unbelievable. I remember tweeting about him probably 4 or 5 years ago, saying
Yeah.
like, "This is my favourite player." I've always said it to my mates, and
Yep.
and we got the same manager. And when I was getting sort of whispers that he wasn't happy, they wanted to let him go, I called my manager straight away and said, "Mate, we need him."
Mate.
And look, as you said, I reckon on his day, and once he starts sort of getting that consistency and with our club, he only come at the back end of the year. He only played a few. He was coming back off his, I think it was his shoulder or knee. Come back off his knee, I think his MCL. So he only got a few games in the end, but we could see once he started to sort of realise how Mitch played, how Manu played, it made his game a lot better. And look, I think with the pre-season, and unfortunately he had his shoulder up from the nines, but I think that's only 4 or 5 months, so he'd probably be pushing round one. But look, it probably gives him a bit of time to get his body right and make sure he's ready to go. And look, he was a massive part in our back end. But as you said, the recruitment was huge. And we're looking forward to sort of having Regan there and Matto there and Fergo back off a bit of a break and getting his body right. So it should be good.
Would you say when you first met him, when he come to the club, you're like, mate?
Wanga?
Yeah.
I just gave him a hug. So, mate, welcome. But look, I'm off him now. He's off me now because I flogged him in 2K, 1 game, 1 win, and he tries to pride himself on it. But look, Wanga's he's the best. He's such a good bloke. And as I said, I called Sam straight away and said, mate, we need him. And I think Sam even said, like, told him, Wanga, that I loved him as a player. And look, sort of, I don't know if it helped or anything. But,
well, I mean, captain of the club, like, would it help? If I'm coming to a new club and the captain's fucking keen on me, I mean, I would be blowing up if the captain's flogging me in NBA 2K, though.
Yeah, he was asking Wanga, you're out there, mate, keep practicing. But look, as when I heard he was sort of looking for a club or something like that, he probably, because he'd been at Penrith his whole not junior career, he was over in Perth. Debuted over there, had all his mates over there, so it's probably a pretty tough move. But look, I think he's fitting extremely well. All the boys love him, and that's all you want. You just want to try and get in, play your best footy, and I think the best is yet to come for Wong. He's still only 25. So,
well, what I liked about him from the get go was his energy that he brought into the side. Like, he just, sometimes you just need that little bit of energy from one of your outside backs or whatever, especially through that period where Fergo was injured. Yeah, and he's fucking so crucial with that.
Well, you knew he was going to be massive. Like I think it was day 1 or day 2 when on his first run on the field. He's out there. He wasn't shy at all. He was screaming at Mitchie. He was screaming at everyone. And then, like, that's all you want to hear. You don't want him to sort of warm into it. You want him to go out there, be himself, and it changed that whole right side for us this year. Like, just the way they talked and stuff like that. And I think it made Mitchie a better player, made Manu a better player. And it's something that Wanga probably prides himself on, and it's been massive. And hopefully, as I said, the best is yet to come for him.
What about another recruit, Make a Siro? Like, mate, is he?
I don't think you even talk about Mike. He's ridiculous.
Like, is he taking the fucking piss?
Proper piss. Like, still doesn't know the game, I don't think. Mate, that makes it even worse.
Can you imagine after a few years, like, getting just understanding the flow of everything? Because at the moment it's just pure
football,
pure just alpha.
Yeah, proper. I'm the best. And I will hurt you.
Yes,
but you could see from round 1 to round back end of the year 25 or whatever it is, the improvement he made. He was making those 1 or 2 errors a game, coming out of trouble, and it was really hurting us. And I think Brad and a couple of the boys spoke to him, and he wasn't making those errors at the back end. He was catching all the bombs. He was just confident in himself, and everyone knows what confidence does to a player. And I think we saw it. The way he was finishing tries and helping us get out of the backfield and stuff like that, it was just unbelievable. And as you said, I think with a pre-season under his belt, and he was actually injured coming into round 1 last year with his shoulder. He was coming off a shoulder. Wow. So I think he's coming in fit. Yep. Coming in raring to go, and I think he's probably got more of a point to prove now that he sort of wasn't that one year bloke. And look, it's going to go a long way.
So he takes us back to a young fella on the Northern Beaches.
Yep, grinding over there on the beaches.
It's in the green room.
Mate, you know how it is, just getting out there, getting a couple of lips and just getting up it. You know how it is. It's
Mate, being a Gold Coast boy, I know all about the green room, bro.
It was a tough life, those early morning rides to the beach with the board, just getting out there. It was good. It's a pretty lucky place to grow up down over on the. I'm still over there now. Yep. Travelling back out to Para, but look, I love it over there. My whole family's over there. Everyone I sort of grew up with, my same group of mates from primary school is still there. So it's I'm pretty lucky to probably still have those 5 or 6 mates in my life that don't really care about that. They care about footy, but it's not what they care about. They sort of just care about just having a good time and just enjoying each other. And I think that's massive for me. It's look, you've always had them as your friends. They're not just coming in now. And that's what you want, and especially growing up over there, it's you sort of everyone know everyone on the beaches. But look, it's good. I love it over there, and I was pretty lucky, as I said, to grow up over there.
Manly, not a bad place. I was with not in Manly, but I was like just before Watson Bay, so obviously before Manly.
Yeah.
I was with the missus. I was like, man, this place, like, we take it for granted, but like, have a look at this place.
It's the best ever.
Like,
well, you go on holidays or something, then you go back and you still feel like you're on holidays.
Yeah,
it's
100%,
pretty lucky. So
100%.
But I can't complain growing up over there.
So was it always footy for you, or?
Yeah, sort of. I was always that kid in the team or at school that was just sort of better at sports, not necessarily
footy,
rugby league or rugby union or something, but just sports. I just loved getting out there and playing them. And look, I don't know, it's just sort of both my brothers played growing up, and you just go down and watch them and just kick the ball around all day. And I was actually playing a lot more rugby union than I did rugby league.
Oh, really?
Sort of coming through until about that probably 17 going on to 18 year where you have to pick and just pick rugby league. It sort of felt like it had a better pathway going into the NRL system, and fortunately enough, it's worked out well for me at the moment, and hopefully keeps going. But yeah, I probably was always that rugby league, rugby union bloke. Growing up, all my mates played it too, and just on a weekend, you want to play sport and get out there and just spend the day with your mates. But
I can't imagine growing up without sport. Like, what do you do?
Seriously, like these days, a lot of the kids just want to sit inside and play PlayStation and stuff. But look, I don't know. Yeah, it would have been weird.
Like, what do you do?
Every probably Tuesday, Thursday, you got to training for something. Wednesday, you have training.
Yep.
Friday, you got school sport. Saturday, Sunday, you're playing league and union.
Yeah.
I couldn't have pictured it.
Like, just sitting at home, just I'm just gonna don't get me wrong, I love fucking PlayStation.
Yeah,
Xbox.
so do I. I can't complain either.
Like, it's
but getting outdoors is something
about it.
Yeah, something about it. Going out with your mates and just going mad. I think can't go wrong.
So was Manly a team growing up? Being a Manly boy?
Grew up in Manly. Grew up on the hill watching the Eagles down there at Brookie and jumping the fence to get in and doing all that. But
you used to jump the fence to get in?
No, we used to have the passes, but it was always fun just doing stuff like that. going down the back of the hill and on the cardboard boxes and stuff from 14, 15. So it was good just watching down there and seeing the likes of Stewarts and all that growing up, and all my brothers love Manly. So
man, some of the best memories is when you're a kid, and don't get me wrong, it was the footy, but it was just like doing shit at the footy.
Oh, you didn't even really watch the game.
Yeah, you just with your
down
mates.
There with a group of mates running around, thinking you're the man with your nice new jumper on or something like that. But some of easily some of the best memories down there, just watching the boys play. And
who was your player that you like to watch?
Snake.
Snake.
Yeah, he was my favourite. I've told him plenty of time. I actually get along with Snake real well. I was meant to catch up with him on the weekend, but a bit hungover, so so I brushed it. But watching him and just all of that team sort of coming through when I was young, just watching them on the hill was crazy. And then sort of going into that level where at 16, 17, where you have the occasional day in the NRL squad down there, it was pretty special. And I didn't really. Me and Jakey Travojevic we were the same age coming through, so we were always watching them train or training with them, and it was pretty special. And then sort of getting to really befriend a few of them and getting pretty close with them was, look, I still pinch myself to the day where, like to today, where you can actually just text them or give them a buzz, and people like Snake and Chalk and those guys with Ches and Foz as well. You can still text them now, or they'll text you and just say how you going and stuff like that. It's still, I think that's what rugby league, especially growing up through it, really does to you. And look, it's still pretty special today that I can go for a beer with him. And
he's running a restaurant now, hey?
Snake?
Yeah.
Oh, he's back from Melbourne now.
Okay.
He's back on the beach. He's helping out with Manly and stuff like that. So he's just cruising, I think. But look, he's one of the best blokes I've met, and he sort of raised me at that 17.
Oh, really?
17 to 20 years. So look,
do you remember the first? So you when you got signed to Manly, was it straight into the first grade squad?
No, so I played Harold Matts there, 18s. So I started playing there at 15, and then sort of just worked my way up. And then once we finished, what was it, SG Ball, 18s? Played 20s, and then the year after we were full time. So the year after.
Do you remember your first session that you walked in with seeing the boys, and you were part of you had the kid on?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. I had one of my brother's childhood mates is Michael Oldfield.
Yep.
And because I was so nervous, I'd text him, make him pick me up, drive me to training, so I'm not just walking in by myself.
Oh, really?
I had him there just to join in with his group and
Yep.
sort of baby against him. So that was pretty lucky. And look, as I said, they were all so good to me and sort of helped me learn how to play and just sort of just said, just do your own thing as well. So that was probably the best thing. But you sort of, when no one's sort of talking to you, just sitting there looking around going, who do I talk to next? It's changed these days. Young kids coming in, they're taking the piss out of you, and you're just sitting there going, mate, if I did that back in the day, you're finding a new club, I reckon.
100%.
Seriously.
If I walked in, like, I look back now, I'm like, man, I can't believe...
You had some goats in your team.
Fuck, it was fucking crazy, bro. But like, I look back now, like, I didn't speak for probably 2 years.
Yeah, seriously.
And I didn't know anyone because I played soccer till I was 17.
Yeah.
So I went straight out of school into the NRL system, like as in into reserve grade into NRL system. So when I went in there, I didn't even have anyone to like sit next to and be like, "That's my mate." Like, I
kind of know him.
Yeah, I kind of know him. Like, so, but I'm with you, bro. Like when we came in, the young boys, you just shut your fucking mouth.
You didn't speak until someone asked you a question. I was speaking about it to someone. My age group was probably that last sort of group coming through where you did just sit there and wait until someone speak to you and you didn't do anything that you're not meant to do or you spray someone that's been there for 10 years.
Spraying,
you can never do that at all. You're legit finding a new club or they're off you, they're not talking to you, you're not playing, you know what I mean? But look, the game's come a long way since then. There's 17, 18-year-olds that are absolute freaks that can do whatever they want on the field and they can spray whoever they want. But look, it's probably good in a way, but back when I was coming through, you was
Mate,
I didn't talk for 2 or 3 years.
You didn't even think about it.
Nah. And even when I debuted and played a few games, I was still just
same,
just not doing anything,
head
just
down.
sitting there, talking to my people that I know that like getting talked to, and stay away from the rest of them. But look, as everyone knows, the game's changed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it'd be interesting to see if it's better. Like, I'd love to see like a study of like the clubs that still have that kind of culture and the clubs that don't, and see like what is better. Maybe it is better that the guys are more confident coming in because then they go on the field and they're more confident. Because I do think it translated a bit to the field in the sense that like when I first debuted on the field, I just like whatever I was told to do, I just did it and just worked as hard as I could. Whereas I feel like a lot of the young guys now, like they do that, but they also are pretty confident in the sense like they'll take a hit out.
Backing themselves.
Backing themselves
exactly. Well, you never know.
Yeah.
It might be. It's like anything. It can go one way or the other. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Times have changed. Back in my day, mate. The good old back in my day.
Back in 2011.
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
5 years ago.
Okay, so you're in the first grade squad. How'd the debut come about?
So it was 2013. It was our first sort of pre-season and training throughout the week and stuff like that. Was still had to do something at uni, so I was doing that as well. But it was 1 day or 2 days a week and just training the rest of them. And it was they were going well. We made the grand final 2013 mainly.
Oh,
so,
really?
Sort of I can say I've been in the grand final squad. But no, it was round 26. I'd almost played earlier in the year, but they went with Peter Hiku.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone knows he had that massive year that year and went on to big things. But it was round 26 and I was just at home on the start of the week and Toos was the coach at the time and he called me and said, just make sure you're at all the sessions this week. And then I heard that he'd done the same thing to Jakey. So I was texting Jakey like, no, hadn't been sleeping. We're at training. And then he finally said like on the Wednesday, I think it was the Wednesday whenever you got to name the team, he said, look, we're not going to name you, but you'll be playing. Yep. I said, oh, sweet. Didn't sleep that whole week. Struggled sleeping. But it was great. I was at Brookie Oval on a Sunday, so sort of 18 years old. This is what you dream of. You're thinking, I don't need to do anything else in my life. I'm playing rugby league. I'm the best ever. And sort of went out there, done captain's run, got home, cruising. It was probably good that it was a Sunday hour. It's not a bloody 8 o'clock kickoff where you're sitting around absolutely all day.
Wigging out.
Oh, full blown wigging.
And can't eat.
Can't do anything. You're just at home staring at the roof watching TV. But it was pretty lucky. I had heaps of people coming down. Just all the boys, all my old coaches and stuff coming down, sending me texts and coming down to watch it. Brookie, it was packed because we'd been going so well. It was against Penrith. Packed out. I remember just running out. I couldn't hear a thing. I was just like, I don't know. I was smiling, but I think I was about to cry. Everything was going wrong, but it was good. As I said, that group of boys were so confident in everything they did, on and off the field. And I remember Glenn Stewart coming up to me at captain's run and just said, mate, like, look, just enjoy yourself. He just pulled me aside and just said, mate, just enjoy yourself. Go there. All the boys know they can play. We've been watching you, and you're not going into a team that don't trust you and stuff like that. I just remember going, just remember having a big breath and just saying thanks. Well, just Jesus, thank you, and just having a big breath. I remember just going home cruising. I remember just running out on that Brookie Oval. The sun was out. The crowd was just going mad.
Yep.
And I remember I got my first car, caught a bomb. I was running back, slipped over. I was like, fuck. I ran back in. I was like, fuck. And then got down, played the ball, and I was just out of breath, completely out of breath.
Yeah,
I was
one
like,
run.
Fuck. That was the first minute. It was good that I got it.
Yeah.
It's got that early touch and stuff like that. And I remember that next set I made a tackle, and I was like, all right, I'm in the game.
Yep.
And then eventually, I think it was 2 or 3 sets in, it was maybe like 6th or 7th minute, Ches kicked this 40-20. And we'd been doing this play on the right side, kicked it down the right corner.
Yeah.
I was just sitting on the wing. Petter was at fullback.
Yeah.
And he goes, you'll score here. I was like, I looked around. I was like, I started tingling. And we ran this play. Ches got out the back, and I think his Gifty threw it out the back to Petter, and he just tipped it onto me. I just had to run to the corners for the second touch of the game, put it down, and everything just went numb. But I remember all the boys just coming in.
So second touch,
try time. First try scorer debut.
No.
Yeah, I remember Wolfman sprinting in, and he just gave me the biggest hug ever and just said, mate, welcome.
Oh.
And went back. We ended up losing the game, which was disappointing. But just that memory I just remember in that corner, like it just like started ringing, like my head started ringing, and something you'll remember forever. And I've got the photo still in my house.
You got a photo?
Yeah, it's a real good photo of me diving in the corner.
Fuck, how good is that?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That's the trophy room.
Yeah, exactly. Room. But that's a memory that will last forever. And,
on debut, man.
First touch.
Yep.
Hopefully all the boys loaded up, but that's something I remember. As you do debut, but especially debut, first, second touch, try. Yeah, it was
set play on the sting.
Yeah, set play. I sort of knew it was coming, and I just had to finish it. And I don't know. I was running in quicksand for a bit there, but it was 6 meters I had to run, and just got there and just got up.
Did it feel like when the ball was coming to you, it was not in slow mo, but you kind of remember that moment of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just remember grabbing it because I knew Petter was going to, because I could see the winger coming.
Yep.
I just had to get it. And it was Dean Faray coming across, and I just had to just put it out, and I just seen him coming. I just head down, and then just went quiet, and it was just weird. I remember just looking around, and I remember seeing my mum and dad up in the stand, and it was it was crazy. But just if sort of everyone that like all your loved ones, all your best mates are there, all their parents are there, and it was just something special.
They experienced it with you, kind of thing.
It was just because they've put so much effort into it as well.
Absolutely.
And look, it was pretty surreal.
Man, debut game. So you only got one game that year?
Yeah, so I played that game, warmed, and just was in that for the next. And we went into the major semi.
Yeah.
I remember it was like the last thing of the captain's run the next following week. So I was on a buzz.
Yeah.
Went out that night on the drink, under 20s Mad Monday, straight into that.
Yeah.
Come back to training on the Tuesday, rattled. And I was because I didn't think I was going to play because I sort of rested a few with just niggles. So I went in, all week was fine. Just going to warm up at the major semi, sweet. And then Wolfman tweaked his back, the last catch of the captain's run.
No way.
Tubes was like, yeah, mate, you might play this one.
Yeah.
I said, oh, no, sweet.
I'll
play. Major semi-final, second game.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, sweet, I'll play.
Yeah.
Remember getting to the ground and Wolfie's like make sure you warm up like you're playing.
Yeah.
I remember putting my gear on, put my jersey on. It was a 2XL. My arms were tiny. I was just sitting like this. I'm going, if I actually play, I'm going to get pizzled. But I was warmed up. Wolfie's still tossing and turning at the end, and he just goes, I'll play. So I was like, oh, it's sweet. But after all that, I'd build up like I was playing, sitting on the thing. But that was the only game that year.
Yeah.
And then, what was that, 2014? The next year.
You know what's weird is you built up to play. You didn't even play, but I bet you couldn't sleep that night.
Oh, no,
all the adrenaline's
way.
still going.
I can't sleep after a training session, let alone thinking you're going to play.
Yeah.
But then, that was only one game that year. Then 14, I think it was round 4 or 5, got back in the team.
Yep.
Still only 19, so I think, as long as I can get a few games. But then played a couple of great games, thought maybe might be able to sort of stay in the team.
Yep.
And then broke me foot.
Yep.
That was 12 weeks out, I think it was.
12 weeks.
Yeah, it was like the little bone. It wasn't me Liz Frank or anything, but it was taught long time out there with the boot on and stuff like that.
Fuck, 12 weeks, man. That's fucking so long.
Yeah,
3 months, man.
Oh, it's horrible. I think it was something like 10, even 8 to 12 or something like that. And then come back, broke my arm, and then played round 25, round 26.
Yep.
So I only played, I think, only 3 more that year.
Yep.
Maybe 3 or 4 more that year.
Injuries, bro.
Yeah, injuries really hurt me there.
You're still young at this stage, so did they...
Yeah, you sort of, they're giving you saying, like, don't worry, like, keep working hard and stuff like that. And even I'm probably thinking, going, oh, mate, I'm only 19, it doesn't matter. I'm in the team, thereabouts. And then another off season, working so hard to get in the team.
Hungry,
trying to get back, feeling good.
Yep.
Get back, round 1, you're in the team. Had a good sort of trial matches Matt Eye's out for 5 weeks at the start of the year.
Huge opportunity.
Playing left centre for Manly. Parramatta Stadium, 2015. First 2 minutes, done my knee. So shattered, like completely shattered.
Heads off now.
5 minutes into it, I was just going, oh, this is horrible. Like, why rugby league? Like, why am I doing this?
Yep.
But then from then on, you sort of get back in it. Back into that year, I'm at Para, so it was a bit of a shambles that those sort of 3.5 years there. But look, loving Para.
Crazy, like how you can just get so unlucky with injury. You know what I mean?
Well, there's people out there with a lot more worse than me, so I can't really complain looking back at it. But those 3.5 years from debuting to playing 3 more games over 3 years, knee, foot, arm, everything, ankle. So it was a long 3.5 years.
So it would have been about 21 about this?
Yeah, so 2015 I would have been 20.
Yep.
And then 2016 when I come out to Para, 21 I think.
Yep. And so was there any time where you just like... Because like you would have been on a relatively small contract. You know, and you're sitting there going, maybe I should just fucking get a normal job. Yeah. Like, was that ever cross your mind or not really?
Oh, not really. I don't think sort of getting leaving footy or anything like that. Everyone knows there's hard days with stuff like that, but I'm pretty good at sort of just adapting to where I'm at and what I'm going through or stuff like that. Like I've got such a good group of mates who sort of they like footy, but they don't really care about footy. So
get you out of
that. You go with them and you're not talking about anything like it. So it's I'm pretty lucky like that, and my brothers and stuff like that. They don't really care either. But to sort of just get through that, and I re-signed, so I was pretty confident. I had 2 more years on my deal at Manly.
That helps. Fuck.
So I was like, yeah, sweet, beautiful, confident. They still want me. And they had a big turnover at the back end of 15.
Yep.
I think, I don't know, they got rid of the coach, they got rid of all the staff, and I remember I was about to go to Bali, and I got a call from a manager. I was like, what's he calling me for? Like, I had to go away, and he's like, yeah, mate, Manly don't want ya. They want to get rid of you. Just coming back off my knees. So I was like, fuck, this is
worst Bali trip ever.
I was just sitting there going like this. I remember calling me dad, and he's like, yeah, like, fuck, this sucks. And he's like, you can dig your heels in, stay for 2 years if you want to try and really work. It was when Trent Barrett come in. I hadn't met him. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, but because they want you to leave, they say you're not going to play, you're going to be in reserve grade. Yep. You won't play reserve grade. And I was like, I'll have a look out, see if anyone's interested. Yep. And Brad called me and said, mate, I'd love to meet you tomorrow. I was like, oh, sweet. I was like 2 days before I go to Bali.
Oh, really?
So I was like, oh, sweet, I'll come meet you. Took Dad out there. Still only 20, so I didn't know, no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And me and Dad went out there, spoke to him, looked at what he wanted us to do, why he wanted you. I was like, because I had Brad for a year at Manly. I didn't, because I was still young then, but just seemed like a really good bloke. All the boys respected
him. You knew him
kind
of thing. You had a relationship with him. Yep.
And he was out at Para. Foz had signed at Para.
Yep.
Chalky signed at Para. So it was a good little crew that had gone out to Para. And I remember calling Chalk. I was like, yeah, sweet. Like, and he's like, yeah, you should come. Brad would love you. I remember Foz really pushing for it to come too. And I was like, oh, sweet, beautiful. And then got home that night, slept on it, called Brad in the morning, said, I'll come. Got the release, signed there, went to Bali, got away from it. And then come back and then played that whole season injury-free, which was good, 2016. It was a pretty tough year, though. We lost all our points that year for the salary cap and all that stuff for the 2 years, 3 years before that. So that was still a tough year, but just happy to play consistently for the whole year. And that went into 17.
How crazy is like... you get the call, Manly
Oh,
rushed you,
it-
and then within 2 days,
It was
you're
crazy.
in
Yeah,
another
it was crazy. Like, I remember talking to Dad. He's like, "Oh, what do you reckon? Should we dig our heels in?" Because we'd been there our whole life. I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Like, I would rather go try myself out, test myself." That's what footy's about, and all that. Well, if you just want to stay comfortable, there's no point playing.
Yeah.
So I went out there, and it was. I remember walking into pre-season, I was that nervous. I was just staring, like walking in. Young kid from the beaches, had no idea what the West was.
Sydney.
I walked out. I remember seeing Kaiser there. He's got all his tats out there. It was lucky because I'd played a lot of representative footy growing up, 16s, 18s, 20s. I knew a lot of them, which was handy. But if I was going out there by myself, I would have...
Head would have been off.
Oh, I would have been off. I would have just been sitting there in the corner, giving me wallet out and me phone and going, "Here, boys, don't bash me, please." But no, it was good. They sort of embraced me, and I like to think I sort of just take the piss out of everyone, and I think that's what sort of let me sort of get into that group, and
it's like anything with a group of blokes. Like, you got to be able to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't have fun, it's really hard to get into the group.
Well, that's what I think. I'd train really hard, tear myself to shreds, but then straight after you're pizzling yourself, or someone else is pizzling you, and that's what footy's all about, really. Just really ripping in and then having a good time, and that's the way I sort of come up through the ranks, and then sort of taking it over there too. And I think sort of everyone's embraced it, and it's good.
Well, I just think that you can train as much as you want together as a team, but when it comes to those moments where training doesn't matter anymore, you're in a zone that's so hard that doesn't matter how fit you are, it's all mental. To be there for your mates, I feel like the off-field stuff, if you are genuinely close and care about each other, that's what gets you through those fucking extreme positions.
When it's 10-all with 5 minutes to go, that's what gets you through, exactly. And I think that's what we're building at the moment out of the Para. Everyone's so close. There's no groups. Everyone's going to have beers together, or just have feeds together twice a week. That's what builds it. Even coffees. Just go have a coffee and talk to someone you don't know as
footy
much.
Footy players are keeping the coffee industry alive.
Someone needs to open a cafe next to our footy field, and it'll make a fortune. I'm telling you, whoever does it, fortune.
Right, coffees is the go-to.
It's the best. Anything. But you can do it morning, lunch, afternoon, because we finish 3:00, 3:30. You can still go have a coffee and just talk, and then just cruise home after. Because a lot of the boys live away from each other, so it's pretty hard. But just half an hour with someone else that you sort of don't really hang out as much with while you're away from training can really make a difference.
Absolutely. You know what's weird is when I was growing up, if a dude said to me, "Let's go to coffee," I'd be like, "Bro, were you going on a date? What are you talking about?
What are you doing?"
And now it's almost like coffees, boys. Coffees.
Please, anyone need a coffee? Yeah,
whereas I was coming through, I was coming through. We didn't go coffee. None of that. We just didn't. It was just different time.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think it was when I first went to the Dragons, 2012. It was boys "Oh, we'll go for a coffee," and I was like, what? Like a date? What are you talking about?
It's weird,
and now it's just normal.
It's just normal. Coffee in the feed.
Coffee in the feed. Okay, so you get there, and basically, you have a pretty good first season, really. You played a few different positions, didn't you?
Yeah, started on the wing.
Yep.
They wanted me dead on the wing. I was playing horrible. First couple games back from a knee.
Yep.
Sort of took my time to sort of get back into it.
Yep.
But then just the way it all worked, it's weird. I still laugh with Tackers today, how weird it's all worked out. Because I was playing wing. All the boys would have been off me because I played horrible. All the fans wanted me dead.
Yeah.
But then just a few weird little injuries. Flash got injured half a game. Went to fullback, had a blinder. And then the next game, Flash was back. Jenko was out, played centre, played well.
Yep.
Foz got injured, played 6, played well, and it just worked. And by the end of the year, me and Jeff Robson were in the halves because we had none left. And then we'll win it. It was just, I don't know why we played well. Should have been in the finals if we didn't get all our points taken off us from the cap. And it's just sort of just helped me become the player I am.
Yep.
I was a lot more stressed at the start of the year, thinking about my game all the time, trying to do this. But by the end of it, I was just playing footy, and that's when you're playing your best footy, and that's probably that year really defined me as the person I wanted to be, and just how I go about my game and training and stuff like that. So that was a huge year for me, 16.
Yep.
And it ended disappointingly because we couldn't play finals and stuff like that. But
personally,
but for the club, it was a good year. We didn't give up. We could have given up halfway through the year when we knew that we couldn't play anything and stuff like that. But it was a massive year for us and the club.
I feel like it's hard to explain to people, but if you're aware that you're thinking in a footy game, you usually don't play that well. Whereas like when you're actually not aware and you're in that zone, you're just like in the game.
Yeah, you're not thinking about what you're doing. You're just playing.
You're just playing footy, and it's just like second nature kind of thing. That's when you play your best footy.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the best footy I've played, personally, is like, it's not that I don't remember it, but I'm just in this flow state.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I've played bad footy, I feel like I'm actually out in the field thinking about shit.
And
like,
you remember it for the next 2 years.
Oh fuck! Still 10 years ago.
You don't really remember your best games because, as you said, you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of players would probably feel the same.
It's like a flow state kind of thing.
Yeah, you're just playing. You know what the other people are doing.
Yep.
You're playing your best footy.
Okay, so 2017 was your best year at this point, at this point in your career. Was that kind of like, how you have that year, and it's that year of like, not that you're like, oh, I'm an NRL player now, but you fully can say like, okay, I'm here now, I've got something to offer, I can impact games kind of thing?
Yeah, well, that was another 17 was another weird year because I'd ended 16 playing in the 6 jersey.
Yep.
Because Normie was out too.
Yep.
He got suspended, and then we come back, and it was me and Normie in the halves. And we started real well. I think we won 2 or 3 on the trot.
Yep.
And then we lost 4 in a row. And I think the club at that time, because Mitch was unhappy at Tigers.
Yep.
And then I knew Brad come in and said, yeah, look, we've signed Mitch. You might have to go back to playing centre. I was like, yeah, sweet. I was probably a bit off it at the time.
Yeah.
Put so much effort into playing 6.
Yep.
But at that time, and then Mitch come across, and then we went on a big streak at 12. I was playing fullback. I was playing centre. I was playing fullback. And then it just started really clicking. That whole team really started clicking. And look, we're on fire. We couldn't be stopped there for probably, I think it was 11 or 12 games. We sort of won on the trot.
Yep.
And I think it was round 22 or so, round 20. It was the last 10 seconds of the game against Tigers.
Round 20.
Round 20 against Tigers. And Normie made a break. I was just supporting on the inside. He drew the fullback. And Teddy just sort of grabbed just my shorts or something and slowed me down.
Yeah.
And I remember Chi coming across, and I was just trying to turn and fend him, and it just dragged me down as you do a tackle from behind, and just my leg got caught and just heard it pop. I remember just getting up because I dropped the ball, getting back and running back to the wing to try and sort of defend it. And the full time went off, just walked straight up and said, "Yeah, I've done my knee." So that was shattering, but
it's like you'd come so far.
I know. You finally played close to 2 years of full footy, and you're playing your best footy you've ever played. You're about to play finals, never played finals, and it sort of just cuts you like that.
Boom.
And I sort of knew at the time that it was going to eat into next year as well.
Yeah.
So I missed 8 games at the start of last year as well, and you just don't come back as quick as you want from that injury. You think you're ready to go, especially second one on the same leg. Right. You come back, you're confident. But then you just don't realise that you're sort of dropping into tackles. You're not running as hard.
It takes time.
Yeah,
man.
you're nervous.
Yep.
Like, people know that you're coming back, so they're targeting you.
Yeah.
But look, I think again that it absolutely shattered me to sort of do my knee again and have to go through that whole process of rehabbing and back on the 1st of November so you can train and stuff like that. And look, again, we got through the back end of that year and got through another pre-season, which wasn't a good year for us, coming dead last, but sort of coming back last year with a real point to prove, or started this year, sorry.
Do you think that, like, you've been through 2 ACLs, and, like, obviously, I feel like, again, I could be wrong, but they had put you in such good stead to captain a club that went last to what you did this year, because you've been through it, you know what I mean? You've been through that hard shit, so you're like, look, I know it's going to be better. We just got to keep fucking working here.
Yeah, it could. I don't know. I sort of got thrown into captaincy last year.
Yep.
Because Brad thought I was ready. I probably wasn't ready at the time.
Yep.
I've always wanted to sort of be a captain and lead a team. I've always thought that I sort of always have that respect from the players, and because I work so hard on my game, it sort of puts me there. But at the time, I probably got thrown in a little bit early. But you never know. You can only do it. You can only dive straight in and hope for the best.
Yep.
But leading into that I knew that we had a point to prove and how hard we had to work to sort of get there. But as you said, because I've been through a lot of dark time, and maybe I did sort of realise, and I was the person that said, look, it doesn't matter as long as you work hard on it, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
But look, this year was pretty special to sort of captain at the new stadium and stuff like that too. It was pretty crazy, but I can't really point a finger on
what it actually
actually was. Yeah.
When Brad comes to you and says you're captain, what's that moment like for you? Like, because it was co-captain with Manor?
Yeah, I was co-captain.
Or was he like club captain, your field captain or something?
Oh, I think it was, a bit of everything.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
because but I remember him telling me to come in his office, and I was sort of thought, what do I do? What have I done on the weekend? Or why me?
Check me phone.
Check me phone. But he was just like, mate, I want you to sort of step up and be captain of the club. And because we'd had Timmy there, we had Bo Scott there, I knew that we could, I could learn off a couple of the older boys there and sort of see how they do it. And Timmy had been captain for so long. I had a good bloke to sort of look at and see how he goes about his business. And I'd been there for 3 years already, so I sort of already knew how he sort of worked about it and why he had so much respect from the boys and stuff like that as well. And look, he said, look, I want you to do it, but I don't want to force you into it. Sleep on it. Have a couple of days, come back to me. And I slept on it. I talked to my missus, and she said, look, you want to do it, you may as well do it now. There's no point waiting.
Yep.
So I just went straight into it and said, yeah, I'd love to do it. And this year, sort of sole captain and going about it that way. And look, I still got a lot to learn about being captain and sort of probably more off field than on field. But look, as I said, I love taking the piss and stuff, but I got to pick my times and doing all that, especially as captain now. And that because the boys look at you to see how to do it. But look, I'm still only 25. I'd like to think I got another 5, 6, 7 years in the game and hopefully as captain of the Eels. And look, I just got a lot to learn, and there's a lot of people out there that can offer me a lot of guidance.
So the year that you struggled, was there any moments where you like started to doubt yourself, like in the sense like, fuck, maybe it's me, maybe I'm the problem, maybe I need to change this, or you was like, I can do this, something needs to change here for me?
Yeah, I don't know. That year was weird. Last year was so strange. We would train so well all week.
Yep.
We'd go out to the game, it wouldn't work. It was just one of those years. I did think at the time, what am I doing wrong, or what can I do to improve? And I'll just start working harder and harder and harder. And I just tried to keep the whole group together, and I thought I tried to do that as best as possible. But as I said, no one knew what was going. Yeah, if we knew how to win a game, we would have done it. We tried so many different things with training, with how we prepare, and it just didn't work. And look, we didn't really change too much going into this year, and we won games. It worked. So it's weird how rugby league does that to you, but
from the outside looking in for this year, in my opinion, in the difference footy-wise, I don't know about off the field, but I just reckon it was you had a clear-cut guy leading you around the field, and it was Mitch. Like, do you know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes teams, it doesn't matter how good two halves are, doesn't matter, like they can be fucking both the best in the world, but if you don't have direction, sometimes it's hard to really. So, and like you looked at Mitch's performance this year, it was incredible.
Well, Mitch and Normie were the first people to put their hands up about last year. They said it just didn't work. They're two really dominant playmakers that probably in 17 when we were going so well with those two, because Mitch had come to a new club, Normie probably didn't want to push it on Mitch. They were just playing footy. It was probably working, but then coming back into 17 or 18 and then both trying to stamp their authority on it, it just didn't work. And they're the first ones to admit that it didn't work. And
it's not like it happens clubs everywhere.
It wasn't just our club. And the weird thing was, people would always ask, do they hate each other? Do they talk to each other? They got along off the field like no tomorrow. They would always be having lunches, going out for beers, hanging out, doing whatever. And that was the weird thing. And that's why you can't point a finger on it, because our group was so close. But that's what I mean. It's but as you said, we had young Dill there this year, and he just played his role and made a massive difference. And
he's with the pairing. Like, I think a lot of fans, we look so specifically at like individual performances, but we don't understand, like, it's all about synergy, especially in the halves. Like,
you have to gel.
You have to have a guy that does his role and the other role. Like, for example, the Broncos are a perfect example. Like, Milford is a freak. Freak. But if he has someone else that's like him, they're both going to be like,
trying to do that big,
do the big play,
freakish play,
and it's just like, whereas you put Milford at the back for the last 10 games, he played the best footy he's played
exactly
of the year,
because
he was free to do whatever
he wanted,
and
but it's strange,
it's all about synergy. It's not about one being worse or better or whatever.
Exactly.
So I try to explain that to people, and it's like what you said. Like Normie said to me the same thing. He's like, man, I get along with Mitch. Like,
I know.
Great.
That's
mates.
what people thought they hated each other.
Yeah.
That's why we're going so bad. It's the furthest thing from it. That's the strange thing.
Yeah, it's weird like that. Okay, so this year rolls around and you get that. Was it round 4 where you're at Bankwest? When did Bankwest? Maybe a bit later than that.
Easter Monday. So whatever day that was. It was definitely a Monday. Because it was against the Tigers. Not sure. Wouldn't know.
Well, either way, that first game at Bankwest, as a club captain, a guy that'd come and like to see the community come together. Like, what's that moment like? Would have been incredible.
It was crazy. I remember because that whole preseason, they'd always take us over to show us how it's all going, and we're like, this is no chance of being ready. It was just nothing round.
Crazy,
but then, you'd go back a week later, and it was just close to done, and we'll just stand there go, fuck.
Yeah.
And then I remember we did captain's run there, and everyone's like, this could be anything tomorrow.
Yeah.
And because all the tickets were sold out, all the shops were having flags out, it was crazy. And just to go out there, I remember just warming up, and it was just a hum around the whole. I don't think it was just us and Tigers fans. There was just fans of rugby league there,
absolutely,
just coming to watch the new stadium.
Yep.
And I remember just running out. There was fireworks going off, and you couldn't hear a thing. But you could not hear a single thing.
It's such a schmick stadium too.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
It was just so loud, and it was. I remember just kicking off, and it was a bit of a slogfest for the first 15.
Yep.
And then we scored one. We went a few more, and then we just couldn't be stopped after that. And it was just. I remember doing a lap after it, and the whole crowd was still there. And
was that the birth of the Gutherson?
Nah.
That was a few weeks later.
No, that was a few weeks later.
But that was when Mitch made that break.
So they kicked it dead.
Yeah.
I picked it up, ran to the 20.
Yeah.
Tapped it, just sort of passed it to Mitch, and he sort of got around the fullback and just went to the corner.
Because I just remember, he
gets up and started screaming.
Like, that's all I remember from that game.
Yeah.
Well, obviously remember other things, but that's the main in my head is just Mitch going skits after a hectic try.
It was crazy. But you can't hear a thing. Like, once it's humming like that, it's just like a beehive. It's just going like that. It was sick.
And so you win like 40 whatever.
Yeah, I think it was 44-0
well, you
or
go,
44-6.
mate, like, this is heaven.
Well, we're just going like, we're home again. Like, I remember at Pertec when we used to play there, even though the crowds weren't as big and it wasn't as high, it would get you home. And we hadn't had a home sort of field for
ages.
3 years or something. We were playing at ANZ, so we'd get 20,000 ANZ. It just sounds like that. So,
ANZ.
But it was so good just to be back, and everyone knows how we went there at Bankwest this year. We only lost 2 games there, and only by 2 or 4 points. So it was pretty. It was a pretty bit of a fortress. But
is that something like you've got your debut that you remember? But is that something you remember akin to your debut? Like
100%, especially leading the boy, like leading them out for the first game, holding a little kid's hand, just going like, embrace this, mate. Like, it's crazy, and then everyone just erupting and. Especially winning it as well, it's pretty special.
Imagine like you wouldn't think about it because you're in it, but like in 10 years' time, the derbies that will happen. Yeah, and you guys were the first one there. You know what I mean?
It's crazy,
sick, bro. It's so sick.
Yeah, it's sick.
So the year rolls on, and there was a period there where it was like a bit inconsistent, but then you kind of came good again. And as you were coming into the finals, were you thinking, fuck, we got a side here, we can do something special here?
Yeah, as you said, we'll sort of win, loss, win, loss, win, win.
Yep.
It was sort of just like tit for tat, and we spoke about it. It was going into the Origin sort of back end of that for game 1, a couple games before that, and we said, like, we've really got a chance to get, I think it was 10 or 12 points or 8 to 10 points in this block with a couple of buys there. And we spoke about it before the first bye. If we win these 2, it's a 6-point game and stuff like that. And we really honed down on getting our bodies right and getting ready to go. And we were fortunate enough, we won the first 2 going into the bye. Then we went up to, I think it was Darwin. We beat Canberra up there after going down early. And then we just won a few more on the trot. And it really put us in a spot to sort of make that top 4, top 8. And then we lost against Penrith, which hurt us, and the Dogs, which really hurt us.
Yep.
Going into the back
Dogs
end.
was a big loss.
Yeah. Going into the back end of that year. But we ended up scraping into 5th, which was good.
Yeah.
And getting the home semi, we really focused on getting the home semi.
Yep.
And because we knew the advantage it gives us.
Fucking look what happened.
Yeah, exactly. But that was huge. It was good on the day, but looking back at it, it probably wasn't the best sort of prep for Melbourne.
Absolutely. Melbourne's like the worst side you can play
exactly.
after that.
But we'll go in fly and go.
Yeah.
But probably the last 3 or 4 weeks going into the finals.
Yeah.
I know personally, I was like, mate, we've got a team here that can really do something. And then, look, it was disappointing the way it ended. We met a red hot Melbourne team who didn't want to lose 2 in a row, especially at home in a big semi.
100%.
Go bang bang. So it probably wasn't the best thing for us, but
And also, like, the thing with Storm is they seem to be really good at, like, let's say they're facing a team that's just us someone. It's like they take it as an offence.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Even though they didn't get beaten by you,
they're
like, these guys think they're good or whatever, and they're really good at that. So,
but look, we got a lot to learn from that. As you said, we've come a long way from that year before, but look, everyone was absolutely shattered after that, and
it's kind of good in a way, in the sense, like, you've got that feeling at the end of the season now to go into next season.
Exactly. But I think it just puts more of a push on those top 4 positions, because you do get another chance, and if you do win, you get that week off and you're 1 game away from a grand final. Yep. So I think going into this year, everyone has their own goals, but I know I want to try and really push for that top 4.
Yep. And so, obviously you don't have to go into detail, but obviously you extended your contract or re-signed or whatever. How, from fans, they only see what the media puts out.
Yeah.
And you, as you said, you don't have to go into detail. But how frustrating is it when you see things that are just absolutely not true? And you look like the bad guy.
Yeah,
and
it's torture. There was things coming out because I was the captain of the club, and the club were coming out and saying stuff as well. And it's just the way it goes. That's how contracts work. But look, it was pretty tough on me personally. I did a pretty good job of sort of cutting it all out and just playing footy, and I was playing good footy at the time, and sort of pushed me into that year. And look, there was just things that just were so off the mark that you sort of just sit there and laugh at. But because the fans don't know the other side and they don't actually know what's happening, you're sitting there going, they think I'm the bad guy because I want this much, or I want this many years, or this, that. And it's hard. It's sort of sitting at home. As I said, you laugh at it, but it does take it out of you. Yeah. It was good that it finally got sorted and stuff like that eventually. But
how badly do you just want to go, like, post, this isn't true, this isn't true,
all the time. Yeah. The whole time. When people are tagging you, send you messages and say, mate, if you're going to be like that, just leave, just go, we want you to go. You sort of look at it and you say, mate, they don't actually know, but look, it all come to an end, and I'm
sorted now.
Yeah, very happy to be here for the next 3 years.
It's just, it's crazy how, like, again, like, I understand speculation. That's part of footy.
Yeah.
But we also have to remember, these are young men. This is their career.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're just putting out fake stories that literally have no basis.
We look at Latrell at the moment.
Oh my God.
Every second day there's a new club. There's clubs here. There's clubs there. He wants 40 years. He wants a 70-year deal for $2 billion. But
I can tell you right now, for a fact, a lot of the stuff is 100% not true.
Oh no! Well, you can tell. Like, wherever it's coming from or whoever is saying, you go, mate. Like, how do you even know? Like, I'm sure Latrell hasn't rang you and told you. It's I feel sorry for Troll at the moment. That's probably the worst I've seen, like, for the last couple of years.
I haven't seen something as crazy. It's still got a year to go on his contract.
I know, and it's just going mad. There's clubs here. There's 12 clubs chased him. Apparently,
I remember I went through Fox's story. And it was honestly 6 things with Latrell at 6 different clubs.
I know, it's crazy.
Holy bejeebers, man.
I feel sorry for him at the moment, but that's just what you got to put up with. I guess it's part of the game. And with all the media around it these days, it's just the way it has to go.
I think it's changing in the sense that, like, with more people that aren't as motivated by just, like, getting as many views or whatever.
Yeah.
More fans are starting to see, like, okay, maybe this isn't true, or maybe I should take that with a grain of salt. Or it's half true. It's not fully true.
Well, you never know. Like, as a fan, you're never going to know the real side of who was actually chasing him, who wasn't. Yeah. Unless you know someone at the club or something like that. But look, it's just the way it's going, and it's rugby league.
The good thing is like, it helps, like, any news does help your profile. So if you can capitalise on that, then fuck.
Good on him.
Good on you.
I'm feeling for him at the moment.
Oh my God. Imagine, I just keep trying to think of myself as a 22, I think he is. And he's just a circus. you'd be sitting there going, my head is off, like,
and he just wants to enjoy his break, and
he's still on the contract.
Yeah, I know.
He still has a whole year to go. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Okay, so basically, what do you think you've learnt the most about yourself in the last 24 months with, you're captaining a side that's struggling, you're captaining a side that's got so much potential and a big future now? What do you think? You've learnt the most?
I think, I don't know, to be honest. You don't really realise until probably you sort of do just sit down and you're not doing anything. But I think just how to sort of get away from footy. I think personally for the last probably 24 months with the injury, playing good footy, coming back, coming last, and then into a good year like this, it's I think just how you get away from footy and how you sort of look out for everyone that's sort of involved in the team and stuff like that. I don't really know how to put it, but I think just how to find the positives in most of the situation. That's me personally.
Yep.
Like from an injury, you find I can put on an extra couple kilos or get a bit fitter, come at last. It gives you that motivation to not want to come last again. You know what I mean? It's I know my guy already called Brad the other day and sort of wanted to come back into training earlier because I want to get it back out there, and you want to go 2 or 3 games longer to get in that first week of October. But look, just how to sort of take the negatives and make them into a positive. That's sort of what I sort of pride myself on, and try and lead at the club and sort of lead by my actions sort of more than my words, and let some of the older boys talk a bit more because they've been around for a lot longer and have been in the big games and stuff like that. But I just like leading with my actions and going out there and enjoying myself. I love training. I love playing footy. I love everything about sort of that hard work and stuff like that, and sort of proving yourself. So that's just the way about what I've learned over the last probably 24 and how to sort of go into next year looking for that positive sort of acts and moving into the year.
What about getting called into Origin squad?
Yeah,
How'd that come about?
That was crazy. I don't even know. I remember I was just sitting at home and they said, "Oh, you're going to come in and be 18th," and it was me and Matto, 18th and 19th, and we were over in Perth, and it was the shorter one, so it was by itself. It was crazy just going in there, and
so when you walked in and like you get the kit and that, we're like, I'm in fucking Origin camp.
It was I don't know how to explain it. You sort of just instantly just thought like, imagine playing, and I remember just that whole week, you just sort of embracing it and just doing your part as 18th man. You sort of go out there and whenever someone needs it, you just go and help them and fill in whenever Teddy wanted to have a rest.
There's rumours that you're the greatest 18th man of all time.
I don't want to say anything, but I was 2-0 in Origin this year. I was whatever the boys needed me. I was the towel man. I was hyping them up. But look, just to have the people like Corker and Teddy and stuff like that, and just trying to learn off them. And look, they've been around the game forever. And you had Jimmy Maloney there, who's won everything and knows how to win. And sort of, I'll look back probably later in my career if I ever play Origin or for Australia or something like that, and say those couple of weeks, those 2 weeks, 3 weeks in camps and learning off those players that might not be playing when you ever get a chance could really help you. And look, I remember I was looking back at it at the back end of the year and saying, oh, this is how he spoke to the team and this is what he does. And look, it's surreal. And I remember walking out after the warm-up of Game 2 and put me kit back on. I was walking out with Freddie and the crowd just erupted. I said, mate, it just makes me want to, it just burns me more that I want to play. And same with the Aussie squad at the back end of the year.
What did that call in? What was that like?
That was worse too. Because we had the prime ministers, or presidents or whatever it's called, prime ministers, into the nines. And I thought that was my 2.5 weeks sort of done. We'll go have my holiday now. And we sort of won the nines, went back to just resting up. And I was up the coast. I was up at Foster. And we're on the piers. We're blind. Just me and my mates and my girlfriend and her mates. And we're just sitting in the thing. I was like, who's calling? It was like 11 o'clock. Who's calling me?
What, at night?
At night. So the game had finished. We'd watched the footy on the TV. The game was done. They'd beat New Zealand. So who's calling me? Just left it. I was like, I don't want to answer.
11 o'clock at night.
And then one of the our footy manager at Para called me. What is he called? What have I done? Like, a random call and thing. I was like, I swear I haven't done anything. Like I've been good.
What are you saying, mates? I haven't done.
I was like, Jess, what have I done? I was going, Jess, like why am I getting called? And I answered. I had about 30 beers. I was going, hello. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm up the coast. Like, oh, can you come into camp tomorrow? I was like,
All right.
yeah. I was like, all right, sweet, I'll leave. The next day was 2 days, so it was on the Friday night.
Okay.
We had to be on camp on the Sunday, so I was like, oh yeah, sweet, I can come in. Send me text. I was just sitting there, going, oh, imagine if I was playing.
Yep.
And then got into camp. It was good. Just had the week with them. Sort of saw how they play. It was disappointing the way to finish it against Tonga, but just the way they train and just to be a part of that sort of month. Sort of representative footy with Mal Meninga coaching them all and the same staff, just to sort of get your foot in the door and again, that really lights a fire for me and makes me want to work harder to make sure I get an opportunity to sort of play at the highest level as Origin and Australia and tour with Australia and stuff like that. So that's really lit a fire in me to work harder and become a better player than I was this year and previous years.
It's man, Australia and New South Wales, like what a year. Sometimes you just go, how good is this? How good is life right now?
Well, I was in Byron last week. I was just sitting there and I saw Tyson Frizzell walking past, and if I wasn't in those squads, I would never have said hi or anything. I was like, hey, Frizz, just talking, and even that just made me like feel a bit weird and like just make me want to make sure I'm playing with him in the next couple of years or something like that. But it's been a pretty crazy sort of month and a half at the back end of the year.
How's the rig on him? I'm off it.
He's a glamour. I was with my mate. He was with his girlfriend, and it's like, mate, you can't. Don't look at him. don't look at him. He's a glamour.
Mate, he's
ripped. He's got a nice little tan. He's got the perfect skin tone.
Covered in baby oil.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he was covered. I saw him pouring it on him.
Okay, so ask all the boys this: favourite rapper of all time.
Favourite rapper. I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Not a rap man?
No, I'm a rap man.
What was the first, like when I said it, what was the first thing that you thought? Doesn't have to be.
I was thinking Biggie.
Biggie?
Just, I like his flow, just the flow that he sort of comes with. And I remember just like in high school and that, everyone would just bang it thinking we're from Brooklyn. But I like all music, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty open like
that.
Yeah,
I like every bit of music that... I like to think I was a jukebox.
The jukebox. No, the real jukebox from Manly is Tafua.
Yeah, I know. George, you stay clear of you.
Hits all day.
Mate, torture.
Mate, fuck being a fucking fullback. Oh, you are the fullback.
I'm staying left. I'm only left side. Told Dill to get out on the right side.
Oh, my God. Well, Dill got hit by...
Manly,
Poor bloke.
Snapped him.
Like, he's done it so many times too. People don't understand how hard it is to time that shot.
And he would have done it 15... 20 times this year, let alone the rest of his career.
Favourite movie of all time?
Oh, that's hard. Favourite movie? Gone blank.
Would you say you're a movie man?
I don't know.
Just say Point Break, because like the latest Point Break.
Point Break. I love Blue Crush. I love Kelly Slater highlights.
Kelly, you just watch Kelly Slater highlights. I didn't watch footy highlights growing up. I watched
Kelly Slater. Those blokes. I don't know. Favorite movie? That's tough.
What was the first thing that came to mind? When like the first thing that thought it doesn't have to be your answer.
Nothing even.
Really, just blank.
I just went blank. Couldn't think of one. I don't know.
All right, we'll leave that. All right, thanks so much for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me.
All done. Appreciate it, and boom, done.
Thank you.
Boys.
Easy.
Just a bloke in a bar.